What's up there, my captains? Welcome back to 1912 Titanic Mystery. We are going to continue to play this. Now, I thought that I was at least most of the way through this. Now, unfortunately, I'm not. I forgot as to that this is actually longer than what I thought. I think we're about actually halfway through. So, as I said in the previous episode, that maybe it would be another episode, hopefully. Well, maybe it might be another 2 episodes after this. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the episodes a little bit longer to try to maybe see if I can't do this episode and the next episode, hopefully, and finish that off. I don't know. We'll see. But let's continue playing 1912 Titanic Mystery. All right. So we're going to start off with going to the barber shop. They still have newspapers here in the barber shop. Do you know what the headline in the New York Evening Sun was on the afternoon following the sinking? It was "All saved from Titanic after collision." Man, they couldn't have been any further from the truth. While that may be true, you have to also understand that at that time, there was confusion with all the reporters and word of mouth. There was like all these stories that were going around. Messages got garbled up. And remember, probably other ships confused it because they could barely hear Titanic, so they didn't know what was going on. But yeah, when they relayed the messages, things just got confusing. Alright, we gotta find 10 guns. Alright, found all 10 items. Yay! Alright, so as per usual, like in all the previous episodes, I will be back. Alright, found them all. Now we're gonna solve the puzzle. Oh, not yet. I forgot, I gotta find those pieces. Rotate and rearrange the picture blocks to restore the picture. Yay! Alright, solved the puzzle. Cassandra had been telling me of how she had sailed to Europe as a celebration for her graduation. from Smith College. She had been in England a little more than a month when she had met Edward at a mutual friend's wedding. It was love at first sight, and theirs had been a whirlwind courtship, she said. I have to admit she was very convincing when she spoke of her love for him, but believing her only drew me deeper into her trap. Alright, so we're going to go to the cargo hold next. Did you know the Titanic was transporting several automobiles in the cargo hold? Too bad she didn't have more lifeboats instead. No, she was only transporting one, not several. Now, as a quick recap for the diary thing, this third class woman and her son are traveling on Titanic to America, and her ex-lover and his wife are now on board as well. Obviously, they ran into each other, and he does not know that her son is also his son as well. Alright, I'll be back. Alright. I gotta find those other pieces. Alright. Move the markers to the indicated target areas by clicking on the arrows. You can only move in the directions of the highlighted arrow. This should be easy. We played this one before. Alright, almost. Last one. Alright. She excused herself to go to the powder room. Before she disappeared out the door, I saw her from across the room speaking to a pair of stewards. Shortly thereafter they approached me. One of them spoke quite loudly and haughtily. Not sure how you strayed in here, ma'am, but your presence is unwelcome. We'll escort you back to third class. Wow, what a dick move. Alright, now on to the gymnasium. I wonder if you knew that passengers rode the stationary bicycles in the gymnasium to pass time while the ship was sinking. Yeah, that's true. I think it was also in this room that John Jacob Astor and his wife Madeline were sitting somewhere over here, and he ended up cutting open a life jacket to show her the cork inside. A little bit of trivia there. Alright. Alright. Find 10 differences between these two nearly identical pictures. Okay. That should be easy. I tried to protest that I was waiting for Cassandra, but then I realized that she had set me up for this. Of course, I answered. I wouldn't want to contaminate the first class. The steward saw me to the second class and close promenade and bid me good night. It was all I could do to contain my tears. But then I heard Cassandra's voice from behind me. I hope you have learned your lesson, Miss O'Sullivan, she said. Third-class citizens have no place among the first class. Edward is mine. Stay away from him, or you and your bastard child will eternally regret it. Ooh, let them be fighting words. Ooh, someone said that to me. Oh, it'd be over. I'd knock them out. Alright, so we're now on the bridge. Sad to think that after a long and distinguished career, Titanic's captain had planned to retire after completing her main voyage. Thankfully, I don't plan to retire anytime soon. Medallions. Gotta find medallions. Alright, as per usual, I'll be back. Alright. Adjust the machine to synchronize the two radio waves. All right. Before I could respond, she added, "Oh yes, I know what Edward has yet to discern. You've been wise to keep it from him. I suggest you hold your secret close, or there will be consequences." Then Cassandra turned and walked off. A raging torment had welled up from inside me. I was about to track her down to give her a good scolding, when a steward appeared and suggested perhaps my lady will feel more comfortable back in her cabin. Bowing my head in defeat, I acquiesced. Is that what that is? Cassandra had gotten the best of me, and I had walked willingly into her trap. But I vow here and now, it will not happen again. I believe you left this envelope behind in the wheelhouse. Do be more careful. It's difficult enough to keep track of all the ongoings on with the crew, let alone helping you with your personal belongings. Okay. You will note that the author of this diary has now been revealed to be someone named Ellie O'Sullivan. Interesting that you were presented with your ticket for Titanic too, because you were descended from a survivor named William O'Sullivan. Do you see a connection? Obviously. While you ponder that, I must urge you to research several of your prior destinations, as there are still additional diary entries to be unveiled. Oh, wonderful. Alright, back to the poop deck. Many people are unaware that Titanic had a near collision as she left the dock in Southampton. Some consider this to be a bad omen of things to come. Fear not, as you know, our departure was much less eventful. Alright, I'll be back. Alright. Wait. Oh, we don't gotta find anything, and we don't have to do any puzzles there. I am beginning to think that this voyage will be the death of me. I received such a fright this morning that I am only now beginning to relax. What on earth could Edward have been thinking? After my confrontation with Cassandra last evening, I spent a fitful night tossing and turning in my bed. Even though Captain Smith gave orders that women and children were to board the lifeboats first, a surprising number of them died anyway. Nearly all of them came from second and third class, another example of the advantages of being rich aboard the luxury liner. In a way, that's true. Alright, once again, I will be back. Come this morning, I was a dreadful mess. Miss Hutchins recognized my exhaustion and offered to take young William to breakfast and watch him in the general room. Afterwards, while I caught up on my sleep, thankfully, fatigue overwhelmed my racing mind and I drifted off to a blissful slumber. When I awakened, it was early afternoon. I was surprised that I had slept so long, but I felt refreshed and eager to take to the deck. However, when I arrived at the general room, I found Mrs. Hutchinson fast asleep in a deck chair with William nowhere to be found. Oops. You know, of the 1,523 people that died that night, only about 300 bodies were recovered. The rest, they just floated away. Very sad that the loved ones of most passengers never got to bury them. It was 1,496 people who I believe died. That's the latest estimates. And I forgot, but I think it's a little over 300, like maybe 350 or something like that, that were recovered. Alright. I hastily checked to see if William had returned to the poop deck he had so dearly enjoyed during yesterday's stroll. None of the passengers out and about could recall seeing him. I returned to the general room and shook Miss Hutchins awake. I was reluctant to do so, as she had been such a dear to me on this trip. But I was beginning to panic. "Oh, Ellie, it's you. How was your nap?" she asked, seemingly unaware of my frantic state of mind. "Tell me where William is," I implored of her. By this time, I feared the worst, that he might have wandered off unnoticed and fallen overboard. Did you leave this in the barber shop? The stylist thought this might be yours. I wonder if I could be Dr. Elsa Young. Surely, she mentioned that her great-grandfather was a crewman aboard Titanic and one of the lucky few to survive. But did she relate that he did not receive a single penny from the White Star Lines for suffering from pneumonia? He never fully recovered and died a little over a year after the sinking. Revenge is always a good motive for placing a bomb on board. Anyway, I suggest you continue your search for the explosives. We'll not wait forever. Alright. Bet you didn't know that Titanic, when she set sail, was loaded with 40,000 eggs, 75,000 pounds of meat, and 1,000 bottles of wine. It's a mystery as to the amount of rum she had aboard. Well, if Jack Sparrow was on board, he probably would have said as the ship was sinking, "Why is the rum always gone?" Okay, gotta find 10 hot dogs. Wonderful. Hungry for hot dogs. Okay, so we're back to doing the puzzles again. Easy enough. Let's see. Where was I? Oh. You needn't fret, Miss Hutchins assured me. That nice gentleman you spoke to me of stopped by and offered to take your son on a tour of the ship. Young William could barely contain his excitement. I offered to accompany them, but your gentleman friend assured me that wasn't necessary. Okay. I forgot, but maybe he does remember, or does know that it's his son. Because why else would he venture into third class and do that? Did you know that the Titanic never held a lifeboat drill? Probably because it was considered unnecessary aboard an unsinkable ship. And besides, they may have been too busy eating. Very funny. Technically, she did have a lifeboat drill, but that was prior to the voyage. I know they tested all the boats with men. I think it was 70 men per boat that they tested it out. And as far as the whole unsinkable ship thing goes, yeah, that was never actually said, not unofficially. There's only one instance where it really says that, but it says practically unsinkable, and of course everybody took it as absolutely unsinkable. That's where that kind of came from. That looks like a Christmas tree. Okay, so I accidentally pressed on a couple of them while I was doing the hidden objects thing. So it's a menu, looks like. Oh boy, I did this one before, or at least I tried it, and yeah, I sucked. So I'm gonna skip it. I was both relieved and distressed to receive this news. Relieved that William had not suffered some horrible accident, but distressed to learn that he was in the company of Edward, even though I knew him well. Edward was a near total stranger to William. Alright, the first class smoking room. It's funny, back in the days of the first Titanic, women were forbidden to enter the smoking room. Kind of bad for them, wouldn't you say? On the other hand, it was women and children first when it came to the lifeboats. Okay. Gotta find 10 pairs of shoes. Not pairs, but just shoes. Alright. Okay. Arrange 2 matchsticks to go from 5 squares down to 4 squares with no overlapping or loose ends. Oh, I tried this one with the fish and I couldn't get it, so I doubt I'll be able to get this one. So I'm gonna skip it. I explained my situation to a friendly steward who agreed to escort me to the first class decks to look for my son. After a fruitless search of much of the top deck, we finally caught up with the two of them in the gymnasium. William was operating the rowing machine with Edward coaching him on his technique. Oh, kind of like what happened in the movie a little bit. And in real life. Titanic's maiden voyage was considered a celebrity event. Her passenger list included some of the wealthiest people in the world. Yes, that's true. She was known as the Millionaire's Special. A floating palace. Alright, so I gotta find 10 coins. Wherever they may be. A coin with a panda on it. Alright. Now, if you kind of take a quick look at the scenery here, this does not resemble the first class dining room at all. Not whatsoever. If anything, this looks a little bit more kind of like the second class dining room. Well, maybe not even that. Okay, place the reservation numbers at the table so that they are not in sequential order. Also, 1 and 3 cannot be next to each other. Oh boy, I might have a hard time with this one. Yeah, I just had to skip it. I must admit that I was tempted to reprimand Edward severely, but seeing how happy William was caused all my anger to drain away. My son eagerly related how they had investigated the forecastle deck and the cargo hold that contains, among other things, the luxurious automobiles being transported to America. I think maybe you dropped this in the galley. It has your name on it. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, and all that, eh? Titanic had her secrets, as does Titanic too, and you've yet to uncover them all, so I suggest you revisit some of the places you've been before. Well, alright, I'm going to call that an episode. Hopefully we can finish this up in the next episode. Just tell me what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Alright, everybody. Like, comment, and I will see you guys in the next one. And I will also leave a link to this game in the description below as well. So, until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.